Hello, welcome to Formulas for Teachers. This is Michael Anderson. This is the second video in my little mini series about how to use a master sheet when you're getting data from a Google form. And to quickly recap, we're using data that was taken. This is actually data from another sheet or another video series that I made. And this data has over 700 responses. And so you're a teacher, you've got a master sheet, which basically is all of your kids in a list that you keep usually elsewhere. You can copy and paste the information in. These are all my second period kids, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And then you can use various methods to get the scores as they update. So the scores come in on the form response 1 sheet. I added this master sheet, and it said plus, made it master sheet, and then I just pasted this information in. But you could do import range. There's various ways you could do this. There's some problems though. I used VLOOKUP to find the scores. And if you're not familiar with how to use VLOOKUP, watch the video that I did prior to this. It shows you how that's done. And VLOOKUP is good, but there's definitely some limitations. The two that we have are here. So Nelia and Garrett, they apparently they haven't taken the test. So that's good to know. This NA shows me that. But I am one, I don't like these little errors. I like it to be blank if they haven't done something. It's just semantics. If you don't mind the NA, you don't have to worry about getting rid of it, but I don't like to have that there. And the other problem is this, is that John, we know that he took this quiz more than one time. And I know that because originally I always write VLOOKUP with false. False basically looks for the very first instance, and if there's only one, it shows them on the left side of the column. If there's more than one, then it shows the responses on the right side. So the first time he took this was a 52. So that's not very good. So knowing that, I just went ahead and changed this to true. True tells me the last time he took it. This is his last score was an 82. Here's the problem. I don't know if this is his highest score. We might presume that the last instance that somebody took it would be the higher score. Maybe he only took it twice. We don't know how many times he took it. So this video is going to show us a few things. One, the main point is we're going to use the Maxifs function to figure out what these scores are. The second thing we're going to do, though, and prior to that actually, we're going to use the Countifs function to see how many times these kids did this quiz. And I know that these are 1, but I'm just going to do this anyways. So I'm going to go here and go equals Countifs. And there is a Countif function. I always use Countifs because Countifs allows you to use more than one argument or just one argument, whereas Countif is just one argument. That's a little bit more detail than you probably need, but we'll do Countifs and then the parentheses. And the first thing I'm going to put here is, where am I going to count? So I'm going to count ifs here. How many times? So I'm going to look here. I want to see how many times is this person's email. So count ifs, I'm going to look in there, and I'm going to look for that. So how many times in that whole long inform responses 1 in the column B is Piper Baldwin's email address in there? And it's just once. And I already knew that because of how these returns came. But if I drag this formula down, then John has 3. So his last score was 82. His first score was 52. But there's another score. And so maybe that other score was more. Okay. Now, of course, there's a 0 here and here because that's why there's this NA, because the formula, the VLOOKUP didn't find this email address in B. So it's an error message. So I know that. But the thing I wanted to find out is how many times did John take it? And the reason why I know he's the only one, because like I said, I always write these VLOOKUPs with false as a default. He's the only one that showed up on the right. So I know that he took it more than once. And that's why we're going to use the Maxifs formula. So let's get rid of this here. Now, Maxifs is a little bit different. So let's just go ahead and select everything, delete it all. Okay. So now, instead of the VLOOKUP, I'm going to do this equals Maxifs. And again, there's also a Maxif. The number of arguments is why I use Maxifs, because I could look at various different criteria. So Maxifs, and again, I want to look, the first thing is, what like where am I going to find the max? That's the first thing I need to put in this. So Maxifs, where am I going to find the max? Here. So this is where I'm looking for the maximum number. Then comma, and then where's the criteria that I'm going to look for? It'd be my second range. So the first range is where is this maximum value going to be? The second range is where's the criteria going to be? And that'll be here because I'm looking for the emails. So Maxifs, where's the max? Where's the criteria? And then I'm going to go here. And the next thing is what criteria? So that. So basically this is saying, give me the maximum value in form responses 1cc if what's in form responses 1b matches b2, which is that. So now I'm going to click enter, and it gives me a 0. Let's figure out why that is. Okay, I just figured this out, and I'm not going to go back and necessarily correct things, but I'll explain what I figured out, the reason why this showed up as 0. These responses here, I had actually copied and pasted these values from another sheet that I had used, and what had happened is it turned them into a text. So these were displaying as text, and so they weren't being read as values. VLOOKUP would find them because VLOOKUP looks for anything, but Maxifs looks up the maximum number. So I just had to do something really quick to change these to the number values. They're the same values, but now they're numbers. And so that's going to help me out a lot. So now I'm back over here. So this is my equals max. Oops. So we'll go equals. We'll do this again. Equals Maxifs. And remember where I'm looking for. I'm looking here. The max here. And then where's my criteria? It's in here in B. And what am I going to look for? I'm going to look for Piper. There we go. So her maximum was a 95. There we go. So now, of course, I can just copy this down all the way down for my kiddos. There we go. And looks good. Of course, these are zeros, which they didn't get a 0. They didn't get anything. So I do want to make one change to that, and then I'll do that in a second. So in this video, we figured out how to use the Countifs to see how many things were there, and the Maxifs. Now, if we notice here, look, John's best score was actually an 88. So it must have been his second time because his maximum was an 88. Now, with Maxifs, I can also do min-ifs. So I'll just do something really quick here. I'll just change this to min-ifs, which for all of these will be the same except for John. His min was a 52, but everybody else just took it one time. So, but I rarely use Maxifs, but it's there if you want to find the minimum value in. So Maxifs, there we go. Actually, let's go here. This, copy this all the way down. There we go. So now it's Maxifs. So I'm going to make one quick video. We're going to show how do we get rid of the zeros so they just show blank. That's an important thing. I like things to look right. So check the next video to see how we do that.